So this week we haven't done too much. Done a lot of drafting at home throughout the week, and it's been pretty cold this week, so I think we've gone down to like 2 degrees in Ipswich, so it's probably good that I haven't done too much. But it's Friday night and we've got some stuff to do, otherwise I'm going to run out of stuff. So I've got another set of R31 curved castor rods to check and prep, so just got to make sure that the spacers bolt in, everything bolts in, give them a big degrease and paint them all up. So that's one job. And then I ran out of studs for the castor rods, so I managed to find one at home that I've had, so I can finish off the last one. So I've got 8 pairs to send to plating, which should be a pretty easy job. Then I've managed to get my laser cutting today. So this week, run out of the S13 hydro handles, the ones that go around the shifter, so got another 12 of them that we're going to prep tonight so we can get plated with the castor rods. And then these are the Commodore 300mm brake adapters. Usually I get them CNC'd, but due to the time frame and everything else going on, I can't do that, so I'm going to get them I have got them laser cut, and I'm going to weld them together. So they're going to be 12mm and 10mm. I'm going to have to machine it after welding, so we're just going to linish it all up to burr all the holes, and you can see there's a fair few, so it's going to be a fun job. But to do this job, I'm planning to make a little tapered nut and bolt setup. So got these couplers, and when I went to Bunnings today, so what I'm hoping to do, screw the nut on. This probably would have been a lot easier if I went to my usual bolt place, United Fasteners, and bought chamfered nuts and or cone nuts and countersink bolts, but it was too late in the day when I remembered, so we're going to do it the hard way. Going to make some pieces to do this jig. So basically I'm going to screw the nut on, tack it on, put it in the vise, machine a chamfer on it, do the same thing with the coupler, machine a chamfer on it. So 12mm holes, got 10mm bolt, so hoping that when I machine the chamfer, it's going to screw in and center on the hole, and center on the hole, bolt it together with the chamfers. It should hold it in the correct spot, directly lining both holes up, and then weld it together. So possibly tomorrow night or Sunday night I'll get it all bolted back on the strut and check the clearance, and then double check how much I've got to machine off the surfaces to get it all sweet on the rotor. And then send these away with plating, send these beasts away with plating, and then send these castor rods as well. Get into it. It's still pretty early. I think it's only 8 o'clock, so it gives me plenty of time to do stuff. Due to, I think, the temperature is going to drop to 4 degrees tonight, I think we'll do all the prep work. So the linishing and the countersinking, all the linishing and countersinking, and then tap these, prep these pieces, make sure these spacers fit in here, clean these up and all that jazz early in the night, and then when it gets cooler we're just going to sit down and weld just to build some heat. So try and get it through the night, but we'll get it going. So we'll start with all the linishing. A little bit to do, but it's not too bad. Most of it's pretty easy. Just take the stop starts off and then just knock the edge off, and then we'll chamfer the holes. get it going. Now I'm going to linish up the caliper plates. So I'm going to linish off a large section of the scale off the top of them. There's a left and right hand side, even though I cut them and they're the same. I'll make one side opposite hand, so one side I'll weld the plate on that, one side I'll weld it on there. So I'm just going to rip a large section of the scale off just so I got somewhere nice to weld to. We'll get them underway too then, eh? So now that we've got it all linished, we'll just deburr the holes. Same with the caliper plates. Now that they're all linished up and I've taken the scale off the front to weld, we'll deburr the holes as well. Right, so the last job to linish tonight is the hydro mounts for S13s and R32s. Well, they should fit S14, 15s and 33, 34s as well, probably Sephiros and Laurels. These are pretty easy, just linish them up and then we're going to tap, well, we're going to deburr these holes and then tap them. So now that we've got these linished, we can deburr these holes and start tapping them, and that'll be one job done for the night. The last part to do to finish off these hydro mounts is to tap these 4 holes. Well, mill's still broken, so we're going to have a crack at doing it with the trusty old hand drill. Should go alright, with any luck. Also managed to clean these brackets up and get them painted today. So now that they're all dry, we can start assembling cast rods. These are my curved cast rods, so 3/4 stud, 3/4 rod end, left and right hand threads, so it's in situ design. I do two different hole patterns, so I do M12 bolts for S13, S14 lower control arms, and then M10 bolts for just standard R31 lower control arms. But now that's all dry, we'll start putting it together. Get these spacers CNC machined. Whack them in. And drop that in. So these are socket head cap screws, so they're grade 12.9s. And then run nylock nuts just to make sure they can't vibrate loose. It's a nice thing to have a nylock nut on it. Oh, amazing, straight through. There you go. Pair of R31 castor rods ready to go out.